We've had a pretty good start to this week, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday, bank holiday Monday yesterday, which means no work. But today, work. Laura made the mistake of like having a full weekend, and then like the delta between when she got up at the weekend and when she got up today was quite big. I was wise, stuck to my routine. I've got quite a good routine on at the moment where I basically sit down and start doing work. Start programming at like 7:30. Between 7:30 and 8, anyway, dependent. And I use that time to work on like my own projects and stuff. And then I start work at 9 through till 5. I raced through the last two microservices. So the last two, can't remember. The last one I did this evening, the API gateway, they're now all updated to use my identity server, which means my identity server can now become multi-tenanted. And it will allow two different types of users to use it while still. So basically, what I've done is I've done that by effectively naming Brad Spider as a platform, and now I can add multiple platforms and use similar patterns across those microservices if I ever have them, or if I don't have them, I just standard things. It's all good. So yeah, I did that in my own time. Today at work, it was quite a researchy day. To be honest with you, I've been investigating a Spike task to try and do some stuff. So I've been doing a lot of reading of like technical documentation, flipping through the code bases to try and figure out like where this kind of thing lives and how it works. Get like an understanding of how all that is, you know. So a bit boring, but I've got like a better understanding of like how obviously bits of the code work and a bit of the domain. So it's not a lose-lose, it's just a bit boring. Just went for a walk after dinner. Saying to Laura that like the problem with this is that we don't have nothing happens. So there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to vlog about because like yeah, we're at work, but most of the things that happen that are worth talking about at work are people things, and they're not happening. It's tough, man. It's tough. But yeah, I think usually, like previously, obviously, nothing much happened to me. I didn't have a lot to talk about, but Laura would talk more. And it's like, oh, now when I do these videos every night, it's like, that's the same. It's the same shit. Every single day is literally identical to the day before. So, damn. I keep going to these, I've been to a couple like virtual networking events. Obviously not I used to go to like two different types of networking events. One which was like kind of a seminar style lecture thing where someone does a talk on something, and then the other one where it's like mostly a networking event. Obviously the more seminary things can be done virtually. I've been to a couple of them now. It's odd. It's so odd. But yeah, so I went to one of those tonight. It was a testing one, but the testing group are an interesting group. But some of them are like try and facilitate people chatting to each other, like having this weird like community vibe, you know, and the others are just like, yeah, here's a seminar, listen to it. And I'm not going to sit on my computer and just listen to a thing like that without doing something else, and then I just zone out and I can't concentrate. So I've been trying to think of a name, a project name, not necessarily a name, for my content management system that I'm going to be trying to build. I've like basically been doing planning and figuring out like a roadmap of how it's going to look. I'm going to have a play with gRPC, see if I can make it using that instead of REST, just for fucking yellow swags. And yeah, but key thing was figuring out a name for it before I started it, because then I can start naming all the services and stuff that require it. I think off the bat, I'm not going to need more than one service, but we'll see. We'll find out. Otherwise, today at work, I finished off, did some code reviews for other people, had my stuff code reviewed, and it was like two different things came up, both of which, when I do a code review, I think I'm really good at code reviews. I take it down the whole code, I look through the whole code, I like cross-reference it with the tests, figure out like, basically what I do is what Rad Spider would do, and then I cross-reference it with all the stuff, really piecemeal it. But if I find something that I think is potentially wrong, At that point, I download the code and I have a look at it and I piece through and try and figure out why. I had 2 comments on my thing that were both like, oh, why didn't you do this? I'm like, because you can't. And the other one was, are you sure this works? I'm like, yeah. But I'm actually I'm officially like the most junior person on the team, which is odd because I wasn't expecting to be. But everyone else is like officially either a team leader, 2 seniors and me, and I'm not a senior at this place. My intention is I want to climb up to be team. I reckon I'd be a good team lead. I want to climb up to team lead relatively quickly, just to get my ambitions out there. But yes, I'm the most junior. And I don't know whether they think that means I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I'm like, guys, I am gonna. All 3 of them are contractors. I'm like, you guys better fucking watch out because I'm gonna kick your asses. I've not once. I rock into places and I just take responsibilities. I'm very confident. Take responsibilities. And I'm just like, oh yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, that's me. But yeah, I just better watch their backs, you know. Don't assume nothing just because I'm a spring lamb and some of you've been programming longer than I've been alive. It's also, I think it's going to be really odd working as everyone is full time, but all 3 of them are contractors by trade, you know, but they've turned permie. And I've contractors are best IMO when they've only just turned into a contractor. So we'll see how someone who's used to be a contractor turns into a permie. That's by the by. I'm chatting shit. Otherwise, I did that and then I finished the spike task for the next bit of project. And I've been doing a bit of reading up into Elasticsearch, just trying to get my head around how best to index something that we're going to be doing next. Part of the spike, well, it's kind of going above and beyond what the spike task required me to do. But yeah, it's been an alright day. Been alright. It's been a long one. I stayed up later to do something different in my life. Because every day's the same. Good grief. I've finished off the spike task I was working on yesterday. And now I'm looking at trying to get this PR over the line. The test team looked at it and wants tests around it. And it's logging. I'm very opinionated about logging. I don't even count logging as a dependency, let alone something that should test. Normally in the discussions when people say, just inject the logger during the constructor, and I'm like, oh, is it a dependency? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, so should we test it? They will say no. And then I'm like, lol, so it's not a dependency. However, this we want tested. Problem is it's middleware, and middleware is such a pain in the ass to test. I've just been trying to wrap it in a unit test, and I can do it, but it's like there's so much fiddle, especially because the logger is a internal thing. I can do it, I just can't get access to the logger at the end. So I don't know how to access what is actually logged at this precise moment in time. And then maybe the unit tests will work, because the problem is I need a unit test to be able to test the edge cases. Otherwise it's just a test whether or not logging works, which we know works. So, which isn't the scope of this test either, to be fair. But yeah, actually doing an integration test without full access to the middleware, which isn't an integration test, it's going to be next to impossible. So that's what I'm currently on. I'm making my sandwich. So it's lunchtime, let's think about it. Let's rest my little noggin. Turns out their test team didn't look at it properly. They just saw that there wasn't any tests and just commented the fact there wasn't any tests, but didn't take into account the fact that it was logging, which is we don't need to test, which is good because I tried to test it and it was a bitch. So yeah, that's got rid of that. Otherwise, we had some quite interesting stuff going on this afternoon as I was going through the code, getting some stuff running, looking at some automation tests that were outside my scope. I've kind of finished the work that I need to do, officially. So I'm just I'm not going to be able to follow this one under, am I? So I'm basically now, well, with the exception of getting my release out, and I now know the release pipeline, which is seems quite complicated. Apparently it sounds more complicated than it is. But apart from like getting that code released, and I got bottlenecked a little bit behind someone else today, I'm kind of done. So I'm kind of just doing a bit of an exploratory stuff. And whatnot. I've been getting involved with some efforts that they've got around like architecture and like hosting and stuff, which has been quite good fun. I've just been tinkering, just been enjoying myself. I'm trying to like get involved with stuff as much as possible because obviously when you work somewhere, you're there. So like you can like pick things up by osmosis and you kind of get involved and people get to know you by osmosis as well because you're like around and involved and stuff. Obviously it's harder to do that when you're remote. So I've been trying to like get involved, like, actively get involved and like attend meetings and stuff that necessarily I don't really know much about, but like just to listen in to find out some stuff. And I think I came up with a really good idea. As we're looking to do some stuff. And like there's loads of things that we could do that will do loads, but it'll take a while. And I'm like, we could do this literally now. And I mean, it'll just chip off a little bit, you know? So I'm pretty happy with that. Otherwise, I had a bit of drama today. Laura went to the doctor's. And we'll have some doctor's appointments coming up later. It's nothing corona related, thankfully. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, otherwise, so yeah, I had to go to the doctor, get checked up on stuff, and now she's got tablets for a little bit, and we'll find out more information about some of the stuff later. But I'll let you know about it when it happens. If you ever see this video, which you probably won't. Oh, it's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to be Friday. Today dragged a little bit. I basically finished because this week effectively is prep for next week. I basically finished yesterday. I did my first release to our test environment and then merge through to master and stuff, which even that didn't really go to plan because someone else in the team had made a change. One of the people who've been there longer than has made a change to the release process, which was incompatible with master. So fucked that up a little bit, but you know, yo limit swag. But yeah, like apart from that, it's been relatively boring. I've been kind of rolling through. There's kind of this like push to get like little bits of innovation through to kind of figure out some changes we can make. We do this thing where we like split our time on improvements and thinking. Apparently our team has been doing a lot more features than they have been improvements. I don't know what they call it. It might be a third of the time you're supposed to spend on like resiliency improvement, like things like that, you know. And I've been going through basically trying to find things like that. So I think there's a couple of like updates we can do. We can do some refactoring and restructure the projects a little bit, make them a little bit simpler. The tests I think could be better. We do kind of do a little bit too much at the integration level for my taste. And there are a couple of things that I would consider bad practices, but it's only because I've never really like using fixtures to automatically generate test inputs and stuff, which is like all good in practice, but it means like if you're newing up an entire object to pass it in, like you're kind of letting it, it's not clear that it's limited to what it's supposed to be, you know what I mean? The idea of a test normally is that you just send in the absolute bare minimum of what you've got. Like, what if if I've like got newed up an object with 5 things on it, I only really care about one of them. So what I'd do is I create that object, set that one property and leave everything else null. That way you're kind of implicitly checking that those are the values aren't being used. Because if they were, you'd get exceptions. Whereas this thing I feel like it could cover stuff, but I'm trying to get to grips with like how they do testing, because it is like, it's not like they don't test. Like everywhere I normally go, they don't test. But these do. They do a lot as well. It's just different to the way I do it, and I'm trying to like figure that out, you know, see if I've got something to learn from it. We'll see. So yeah, there's that. Otherwise today I've been doing a lot of stuff to build out the first microservice for my next platform thing that I'm trying to build. I'm moving away from Service Fabric. I'm going to have a go at doing Kubernetes, just because, really. And then if I end up, if I like it and I end up deploying it, it'll be a lot cheaper than doing Service Fabric. It'll be a lot more movable as well if I wanted to install it somewhere a lot cheaper than Azure. And the only thing I'd really have to do is migrate the Service Fabric identity server so that works. Because that will need to be deployed alongside this thing if I release it. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing basically. I've got everything running, so you can run it from Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code, the command line, Docker, and Docker Compose, but I can't get HTTPS running on the latter two in the Docker world. So I need to do that. There's running certs at that level. It's just a pain in the ass. Do you remember recently I was talking about getting it working for Service Fabric? And the problem with Service Fabric is that technically I'm not running I have certs on the machine, but I'm not running the service. The computer is. Runs under the network user, and similarly for Docker. So you've kind of got to inject it in, and I'm trying to make it like simple so that you don't have to write a big command to run the platform. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll get there. But it's bedtime. Got to get up early because I've got to drive Laura to go get some stuff done in the morning. So, living the dream. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. Will I? Yeah. Up bright and early today, boys. Driven Laura to medical centre. She's having a scan done. I brought my book and my headphones if I want to listen to a podcast. I don't think she's going to be too long, but you know what it's like, docs, isn't it? It could be forever. These friggin' certificates, boys. It's not working out the way I want it to work out. I've got it working, but I've broken just instantaneous starting in Visual Studio, which is good fun. Flip me, boys. Flip me. I feel like it shouldn't be this hard. I don't know why it's been such a pain in the ass. Yeah, like now it's relying on a value in user secrets. I'm like, come on. I feel like that's unnecessary. I also feel like it could be done in part of the bit. Like half of this stuff, I'm like, why is it not just being built inside the container? Because then it's self-signed and it's in the image. Yeah, fair play. Yeah, I think my dream of just being able to download the repo and just hit .NET Docker build and it just work with SSL. I don't think that's going to play out. Yeah, it didn't play out. I figured it out, got it working. I can basically either have... Oh no, there is no way of getting Docker to work automatically. I want it to be as little in the like Docker container run setup line as possible, but then it's a balance between getting that and then getting it working and everything else automatically, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I've decided I'm sticking with a certain way of doing it with like user secrets. Docker Compose is the easiest way to get it up and running. And that's all automated with it as soon as you've set up your secret in the first place. It's annoying. It's not as simple as I wanted it to be, but SSL isn't really. In theory, the container doesn't need it. Like you could just put it, what's it called? SSL, I don't know what the word is, where it strips it off at the like entry point of the system. Could do that if I wanted to, but where's the fun in that? I did get that sorted. Otherwise, we did another quiz. It's our turn to do the quiz next time. And minds have gone wild. And we're trying to figure out a good way of doing the music round, which doesn't involve playing it loud over our speakers, so we've had a couple of people do music rounds. They've either like read out the lyrics to a song, then you've got to guess the song and the artist, or they've played a bit of a song and then you have to guess the song, artist, and another thing as well. I think it was their like second most popular song, highest charting song. What's their highest charting song? that was really good. I'm trying to figure out a way of doing it, and I'm like, I wonder if I could throw together a very quick like web app that will effectively like allow us to stream only 10 seconds of a song, and then control it. So I'm like, I've been trying to architect it because I've been a bit wild, and I'm like, so in theory I need something like Azure Media Services to actually do the streaming itself. I can then have everyone connect to a centralized website and then use Signal R to trigger the kickoff for their messages. And then I just need a way to trigger that and control that. So I can trigger that from Azure function. I could basically have like something like that. And I'm like, is it possible, or am I just losing the plot? I don't think it doesn't feel like tomorrow's amount of work, you know what I mean? But it'll be fun, you know, it's something different. It's something I've never tried to do before. So I'm like, nah, I may as well have a go, you know, fuck it. The thing is, it's because people know me, they're going to try and break it. So I have to try and like make it unbreakable to a layman. They're not like technical, so they won't be that clever at breaking it, if you know what I mean. But otherwise, Laura is, like I say, we're going to, I don't know how much I told you. Laura went for a scan today. She's got a blood clot in her leg again, second time this has happened. Tuesday we're going to the hospital again for treatment. Don't know what that treatment is. It might be an injection, not sure. But we'll find out. Yeah, so not good there. We're just trying to, she's on tablets until then, so she should be okay. But like I say, it's the second time this has happened. So we caught it a lot earlier this time than last time, which is good because this one is a lot bigger than the last one. The last one was a small one that built up. This is like a really long one, so that's not good. But we'll get there. Bless her. Bless little consoles. So, but yeah. So we've been paying for, we have like the Sky Sports package on Now TV, and we split it between like three of us. You get like a boost thing and it splits it between 3 people instead of 2 people. So Dad has it, Laura's dad has it, and I have it. But Dad called today and basically we realised that that was a bit silly because obviously there's no sports on. So what we've done, instead of like cancelled direct debits and stuff, so we're not all, because they pay me then I pay for it. We've now deactivated Sky Sports and activated Sky Cinema and Sky Entertainment. So now we've got all of it, and it's the same price. Well, a bit cheaper, technically, than full price, but not quite. Living the dream, boys. Happy days. Laura couldn't be happier because she's got a load of Disney films. We just watched Batman. Yeah, good times. Otherwise, today has been a pottery day. We did like washing and stuff. Trying to fix our washing machine because we think our washing machine might be leaking a little bit. Just a tiny little bit at the back that slowly pulls up. I did a load of planning and architecture stuff on my projects. Also, excitedly, look at this. Oh, this right here is a bowl of ginger beer, boys. I'm brewing that bad boy up. It's gonna be lovely. So yeah, Beth and Ben bought me like homebrew ginger beer for my birthday, and it needs to be warm for it to like ferment and stuff. So I've been getting into that, and you never know, maybe I'll just become that guy who buys ginger it's like powdered ginger, not actual root ginger, but maybe I'll do it. Who knows? I am a big fan of ginger beer. What else? Something else went on today. Oh, I just did a bit of gardening with Laura. That's about it. So yeah, cool. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to end this video because it is a teeny tiny little bit long. We are... I keep every now and again I get comments on videos, obviously. So the video that's just gone up today went up. It's something like the 3rd of Jan, first week in Jan. I'm going to upload a video every single day, and I deliberately haven't uploaded, like scheduled a video for tomorrow because I'm going to do it tomorrow morning. I'm going to do that every day, and I have until I catch up to fall back in love with vlogging again. Because ATM, there is no point in uploading this video. So we'll see. I'm going to try and put effort into it as of tomorrow. So Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoy the next couple. I'll catch you later.